You've hit it. All right, I'll refresh till it pops on, and I'll tell you what I can see. Yeah, streaming. Yeah. Yeah, see me on the panel. And you. No link. Right, do you want to screen share something? Let's see what happens. I'm not sure if people can hear us. We'll find out when they come in chat.
They probably couldn't hear me because I have my mic off.
I can hear me in your stream audio. Hey, Jason.
Can you hear me now too? I had my mic off on OBS. I don't know if that mattered.
That screen sharing there one, is it, yeah?
Yeah, it's sharing what I'm showing.
Yeah, that's good.
So.
And hopefully they can hear us.
Can you hear us?
Testing 1, 2. Hola, 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 hola.
Can you hear us? Oh, I hear us.
We'll listen. Yeah, I can hear you, yeah. Yeah, we're just testing peeps. Set up OBS for panel talks and stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, it seems good there, one.
Very good stuff.
Easy done, eh? Ooh, what's this image then? Let's tell people about this image.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about this morning. It's Mars. So it's Mars from 2005 to 2018 on...
Your audio's low, one.
Oh, it is?
Jason says.
Oh, I see it. It's turned down. Okay. Is that better?
Doesn't sound any different to me. You have to ask Jason.
Is this better?
Am I loud enough to you?
Yeah, I hear you fine. I don't know if they do.
He said it's better. Is it as loud as mine, Jason? Or too quiet? Hey, Tom, how's it going, mate? Perfect now, Jason said once. So yeah, carry on.
Okay, so it's Mars. So I put Mars on September 17th, which is today, from 2005 to 2018. And why I did it was because, sorry about that, was because people say the luminaries are out of whack. And they say the moon, and I've heard other people say, oh, Venus is way off, and I just heard all these things. But I did this from 2005 to 2018 to show that they're absolutely following the path. And this kind of jumps around, so it'd be like start here and jump over here and come here for each year, but they're all programmed. These are timed systems. And Enoch says that the luminaries will not leave their path. So what I was trying to get a point across was that people have to study these things for years and years and years. And until someone does that, there's no way that we could just decide they're off their path because we perceive them differently from one time to another. They're ascending and descending the halo system. So sometimes they're going to appear further away, and other times they're going to appear closer to us. And this can vary month to month because these things are indeed moving below and being projected above. So that's what I was trying to get across, was these things have done these exact movements before, and they'll do them again. And if we went back 100 years, I guarantee you we would begin to cross the same paths where they would probably be in the same spots even. Because that's how timed this system is, and they go to the same areas when they're exactly supposed to. That was what I was talking about this morning. That was why I even streamed this morning. So that's what this picture is about. It's over a decade worth of Mars just tracked for one day, just to show this is where it was, this is where it was, this is where it'll be again. So, yep.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
The other
I
thing,
would just be testing guys in the chat,
yeah.
the panel, really.
The other one I was talking about was this one. Were you in there for this one?
I'm not sure. Let's have a look. No, I think I missed that one. That must have been the one you done first.
So what I did here was correlated the chakras with accelerators. So
Yeah.
the little stars are the chakras of the world, and there's little numbers next to them, how many accelerators are around those specific areas. And then they all fall on the helix, most of them.
Yeah.
Which is the, we did the video about that, but all of these fall right on the path. So.
Yeah, it's good to know.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen that one before.
Yeah, this one was new. I don't even know if I've shared it yet, so.
Yeah, you have now.
Yeah.
Too late now.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good one, that. Yeah, very interesting. So.
Yep. That's it. We were just playing.
Yeah, I just messed around, setting things up and getting used to talking on panels again. It's something we don't get to do a lot of.
Yep.
Hey, Daniel, how's it going, mate?
Hi, Daniel. Yep, good
Yeah,
stuff.
it's hard for us to get the free time, isn't it? And quiet time to actually get on a panel and talk. That's the problem we have. It's getting peace and quiet to all the time to get on here and talk to people.
Yep, it is for me. I work way
I've
too
got
much.
the time, but I don't get the peace.
Yep. I get the peace and no time.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Daniel can hear us both just fine. That's good to know.
That's
Cheers,
good
Dan.
stuff. Yep. But
yeah, we're trying to do this a bit more often. It's just like I say, it's just hard to get us together at a time when we're all free and peace and quiet ensues. It doesn't happen in my house.
It's always quiet here except for dogs tapping.
Tap, tap, rubbing them all or something. Yeah, it's hazards of a family home, isn't it? Peace and quiet to stream. Yeah, I like that image one. That's a nice one.
I thought it showed some good stuff. Because, like I said, the accelerators are bunched around the chakras.
Huh?
All the accelerators.
You should be able to flick between views now as well, between us on the panel and what you're showing, yeah.
Oh, can I?
Practice with that.
Okay.
You know, nothing. If somebody shows, we'll just scrap that hangout and start another.
Are we showing now? Or should I wait? I could probably turn it. I have to turn it off, huh?
What you're sharing on the stream, I don't see on the panel. It doesn't matter.
I don't know how to turn it off.
If in OBS, just click the panel view, the panel one, and it should show us again on the panel.
Oh, down on the panel. I didn't have to turn off those. Okay.
Yeah, you have to do it in OBS.
Let me put my images back.
Whenever we are in OBS, so you have to click that one.
Okay,
yeah. Take us back to the panel.
Right there. That should be
You have to remember we're in OBS. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, panel's back. Yeah, just look between that and whatever else you want to share, really. So, on your presentation, you can set up in one of those other windows all the stuff you're going to present for the night and just switch them on and off at leisure.
Yeah. Melanie missed the first part.
Live, all the things you want to share in Windows.
Huh?
You missed that.
Yeah, I missed what you said.
That was just saying about setting it all up. Wherever you're going to present in a stream, you can set up in one of the other windows and use the switch on and off on each of them to switch them on and off what you want to talk about, and flip back into between the panel. Hi Mel, how are you today? Trout Mel. Trout Mel.
Hey, that works here. She said she missed the first part, but we were just talking about different silly things.
Yeah, we're just messing about, well, setting things up and getting one used to moving around in OBS.
Yep, which is very different.
But
it's
you
easy.
Can, go and choose a different scene one. They'll still hear us talking, and you can show them video playing or anything, one of your other scenes.
I'm glad you caught us too.
While you can give them music while we talk over it. You've got lots of options at your fingertips now.
Yep.
But yeah, while we're live and nothing show, have a play of it. Start showing, presenting different things on screen.
Yeah, little. Cutting out.
Is it raining truths out there, is it? Soaking.
Yeah. Well, on the screen is, like I said a minute ago, but I don't know if you were here, are the chakras, are the yellow blotches, and all the little numbers around them are how many accelerators are surrounding the chakras.
Yeah,
which also correlates with.
You want to tell Mel and them about it?
Yeah, that's who I was telling. It's on screen. I think they hear me.
Yeah, good stuff. But yeah, you can now switch between scenes and show full videos and anything you want, while you're in here on the panel. You could stream some of our older content and mute it and, give it a new voiceover even if you wanted.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, things that we've chopped and changed over some of the videos, you can bring them back up and say, right, this is what this is, but we think this now. It's just messing about, really, isn't it? Practicing and experimenting with it.
Yeah. And what else is on this chart?
Try going through different scenes now on your OBS so people can see different videos and bits of our work.
On this one, one more thing about this one is I put the super volcanoes on here because
just all it'll do is change from the panel view to what you want to show them, really.
Yeah. But I put the super volcanoes on here because that's going to correlate with the fact that these accelerators are indeed making the waste that travels through and out of the volcanoes. Are you there?
Yeah, still here. I was muted.
Oh. Did you hear me though?
Yeah, I could hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
I was just talking to the people in the chat there.
Yeah. So, anyway, I thought that was a even better correlation that the supervolcanoes fall directly on these spots. I mean, it's crazy.
It's a bit obvious now, isn't it?
It is to me.
More and more obvious.
I just want to start telling more people so it'll be obvious to them as well.
Yeah.
And they can tell 10 people and they can tell 10 people. Well, I think the volcanoes are becoming so active because they are doing more and more. They're fracking and they're building more and more accelerators, and they're opening old tubes that maybe didn't used to flow, at least lately. I'm sure they did at one time, or they wouldn't be there. But you can look up how many extinct volcanoes have erupted in the last couple of years. Just since I've been watching this stuff and learning it in the last maybe 3 years.
Becoming more active. When you think about it, I wouldn't say they're becoming more active. This is just what they do all the time.
Yeah, and it might be different for what we know. So we would consider it more active, but maybe it did this before because there's signs that this all happened before.
Yeah. repeating cycles. That's what's going on.
Yeah, and they probably are messing up things though with the fracking. Don't ever count that out, because
Yeah.
that's screwing up the Earth energy, as well as having the whole.
Dumped by a million tons a year down there.
Yeah. Yep. And messing it all up with all these power grids and power lines. That's messing up our Earth energy. Holding water in certain areas with big, huge dams, that's messing up our Earth energy. It's not allowing it to flow the way it's supposed to.
It's making drying the land out further downstream as well. Ruins it for farming and everything, doesn't it?
Yep, messes up everything and kills off the wildlife, because there's certain things that come from the river flowing that feed certain little tiny animals that we don't even see. Do I think part of the earth is hollow? I think that the whole underworld that we speak of is what some would consider hollow earth.
Volcanoes down there.
The hollow earth and the flat earth go hand in hand. Yeah, there's tubes and
big
tunnels.
Cities, even bigger, Mel, even bigger than cities down there. Bigger than RL, as big as RL, if not bigger.
Yep.
You could fly aircraft down these tunnels. It's that big. The ones down there. You know, you look at the scale of what you're looking at. You fly aircraft, helicopters, all kinds down there. It'd be that big. This is what they tried to describe in scripture. It's just too vast for them to describe. It's very big and expansive down there. And you look at the grid in the background, you know, the grid we're using, as well by 12, but grid goes way beyond what our known realm. So yeah, it's huge.
It's massive.
So yeah, very hollow and very much activity at different layers going on. You know, there's different layers down there. It's not just one layer. There's numerous layers down there.
Yeah. When I draw on the Google, which unfortunately it has to be a Google Earth because that's the only thing interactive that I've found so far that I can do this with. However, the person that invents it on a flat map, as interactive as Google Earth is going to be a very rich person. But that shows the layers. And when FPV did the Nazca lines, that shows the different layers. Those are multi-level structures that are running all this stuff.
Yeah, the 12 by 12 in a 3D environment, when you pan around it, it produces a 6-tier pyramid of vast proportions compared to anything else.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, if it's a 6-tier pyramid shape down below, then it's six layers there straight away. There, you know, there's 6 different layers to do with the mechanics of the world going on. And that's what you find when you look at like the Mayans' beliefs. You know, three worlds: the heavens, the human world, and the underworld. 6 houses, which I would say is the 6-tier pyramid, and also the 6 layers of halos in the heavens, and then the 9 rooms, which to me is now the center of our grid. You've got the 8 squares around the center, each circle one. So there's your 9 rooms.
Yeah.
Like Atlantis. The center one being Atlantis, or the Garden of Eden, or whatever you want to call it. That very nice name from scripture. It's right at the center, 0.0. That circular part in the center. Now, when you look at them 8 boxes around it, each of them's got 3 objects in them, giving you the 24 elders are on the center. The center total of the primary 8, that's the 8 with the lines going to the center. Total of all them is 33. That's no coincidence. This is where all these numbers are coming from. You know, think about that. The total number of the dots in the center of the grid is 33. 24 of the elders, the 8 primaries, and Brahma, the creator, at the center. And then you've got the angels in the north, south, east, west. 12 dots in each. 48 there, and it's 24 on the primary 8. There's your 72 virgins, because if you look at them, none of them are connected to anything. This stationary, lonely dots on the grid. That's where your 72 virgins come from. Yeah, they've really mixed it up and tried to hide it all. That's what you're left with, isn't it? You know, when you put it back together, how we're looking at it, we're looking at a structure and a grid and various layers that's filled with various technologies. That's what we're looking at. This is what this model has kind of ended up with, isn't it, one?
Yeah, pretty much.
We're just trying to display what it's telling us, the information's telling us. We live in a technological construct and it's various layers of technologies. Hey Joe, how's it going?
Hi, Joe.
Trout Joe. Quick, Trout Joe someone. Yeah, nice to have a chat for a change, isn't it, one?
It is nice, yeah.
And, interact with the nice peoples in chat.
Yeah.
Trout everyone. Brutal deluxe.
And Mel, our research is very, very. I think it's pretty deep and pretty thorough, but and we use all their data to do our research, which is what makes it pretty much undebunkable.
Yeah.
But the problem with the people that are doing the research, and we're just collecting their data, is that they're all so compartmentalized that they don't even realize if they put it all together, they would see this huge picture. And maybe they do realize, but then again, maybe they don't, because they're all just departmentalized, and you know, they're all put in one little area and they're told to do this for however long and only this. And so they don't see it all together. And I think that's why our stuff is a lot more thorough, is we've looked at every single thing you can possibly imagine.
Yeah.
From
what we haven't looked at, we have discussed in private a lot.
Yeah. And we've discussed a lot of little things in private that make a lot more sense. And that's why I think this is a good idea, putting out little chats. That way we can talk about all these little tiny things that start to add up into the same system, and shows us why all this stuff is accurate as I can tell. Still always open to people to attempt to debunk it.
Yeah.
Because if they try to debunk it, then one, they can't, and two, they will, and then we find an error. I haven't found any errors so far.
Yeah, there's that worry, see, you know, we're being careful here. We did get suckered in with the map when we came to Flat Earth, and because of that, we're not broadcasting and advertising our research as much as we think we should. You know, we think this is very important information we're finding out, and it's answering a lot of questions we never even thought of. You know, it's given us a lot of answers that we didn't ever have questions to before. You know, we're finding out new information we hadn't even considered before that relates to this.
Yeah.
It tells you're on the right track when you're always progressing and finding out new information. That's the good thing about this. You know, every time we look at it and play around with it, we learn something new, or some new world event reveals something else that's going on, or even a bit of information from someone in chat that pops up and mentions something, and you look at it and say, yeah, that makes sense on here. You know. But yeah, we don't push it. It's a work in progress. It is. We are presenting the model that it's presenting to us in the best way we can for our skill sets.
Yeah.
Which aren't too bad, are they? They're getting better.
And she said we need equipment, but I think I would consider myself the data gatherer, you know, in a whole big scheme of things. I'm very good at gathering data. I would not be good at traveling to go get the data like that. So it would take a whole team of people to, if we had equipment and stuff, to actually, you know, do that stuff. But they already do all that for us, so there's, you know, no point. They just don't portray it properly at all in any way.
Yeah, that's all we can do. See, touch on various subjects. We don't go too deep into them or get lost in them. We look at it and say, yeah, that works. We know it works with this model. And then we can move on, or, you know, we can leave that there for other people to elaborate on, or overlay their work with and see how it works with this grid and map and see what they get out of it, because people's going to see things we're not seeing. You know, we're not professionals in any field at all. We're just learning as we go, basically. That's all we do, you know. But someone asked me in my chat a few days ago, where'd you get all the terminology to explain all this? I says, well, it's something you've got to learn as you're researching it, you know. I didn't expect to come here and tell people around the world about particle accelerators and the Maxwell lines and things like that. So
No
you know, you have to learn the terminology to explain what it is you're looking at. That's the only way around it, isn't it? You've got to learn it to explain it.
You know, before this research, I thought there was one particle accelerator, and I thought it was CERN, and I thought that was it. I had no freaking idea that there were more. You know what I mean? I've learned so much.
It makes sense, doesn't it? Scripturally, the seal of the 144,000 is exactly these angels in the underworld. They're all 144,000 possible particle accelerators sealed in rooms below, is what it's telling you.
Yep. And when you look deep into Google Earth, you honestly see those. With all those lines that I draw on there, you see the different accelerators. Some are smaller, some are bigger. You know, and you can see the outlines.
With the weather ones, you know, some of them never move. They're switched on 24/7, creating where it's goes.
Exactly. And you can see the topography of the land, how it's lifted up in a swirling type motion. If you zoom in, you can see that stuff. It's there.
Yeah.
You know, they just hide it. They say whatever their theory is.
Jason said, we're releasing info at a good rate. It's difficult to process this stuff. Yeah, you know, it's quite easy for us to process, but we've been working with it for a long time, though. That's why we're getting more and more fluent in discussing it. But we're hoping, you know, people can pick up on that and learn from us how to, you know, maybe help process it quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of that this morning. You know, maybe you should do a recap kind of video of how it started, and just some of the highlights that points out a lot of the important things that's created this model, basically.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea, because it's come a long way. It's still the same model, but the information to support it has come a long way.
Yeah. And it's good to having our old work now, and I listen to myself on one of the old videos sometimes and think, wow, I forgot all about that. You forget the dark we adjusted for, and there hasn't been a lot really, is there? We repositioned the grid a little, the 8x8.
Yep.
Went on new information, you know, it's information from Jimbo and that signal from Antarctica, the 3-prong signal, which helped highlight Mount Etna, the Bosnian Pyramid, 2 other locations that helped align the grid correctly. So yeah,
do you want to share anything?
It's like the tour. Say again, one.
Can you share?
Do I want to share something?
Yeah.
Try it. Yeah, you'll have to rush back to the panel view for your channel though.
Okay, we're back.
Okay, then. Thanks for the share. Hold on. Where we are? What shall I show? I'll play the OBS clips one that I play on my channel. We can talk it while that's playing in the background if you want.
Yeah.
The visuals in the background. Minimize that. Full screen that. Can you see that? Yeah.
I see it. Yeah.
You're seeing it. People in the chat should see it. Let me know, because I have to watch this while I talk now. Because
okay.
I'll do one. Oh yeah. Yeah, and everything to look at, so it will share this on anything else. So no, I can leave that there and still talk to you, and then people can see that as we're talking. There's your 7 golden candlesticks from Scripture. The 7 stars that were set aside ready for when the construct was completed. That's coming from Scripture. That's not my wording. This is wording we found in Scripture. And it's the 7 major luminaries, basically. That coming through okay?
Yep. Yeah, it looks great. Yeah.
But you can see what I mean now about look at the 8x8 grid in the centre. See the 8 squares round the centrepiece? There's your 9 rooms. 8 of them being square and one circular one in the centre. That's your 9 rooms from the Mayan beliefs. The 6 houses are the 6 large halos, which also translates to the 6 layers of all 6 layers of the 6-tier pyramid in the underworld, basically. The very large 6-tier pyramid we mentioned earlier. These halos obviously go around the outsides of all those layers. And to us, these are very large particle accelerators. There's the grid tour. So you can work in the now, so you can pause this. We've got the angels in the north, south, east, west. Can you see my mouse one?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep, it's
Angels in
showing.
the north, south, east, west. Here's your 24 elders. That's these dots in these 8 boxes that aren't connected to anything. You'll notice there's 8 here connected. We call these the 8 primaries. In Hindu religion, this would be the 8 lotus leaves. The lotus leaf with the 8 leaves, and the deity in the center, being Brahma, the creator, which is right there. So that can come from the Hindu beliefs. This 24 elders can come from Christian beliefs. The angels north, south, east, and west seem to come from all beliefs. And then you start to give people a tour of what's these dots. We haven't finished the tour of this. You know, we've still got locations to look at. But some of the most interesting ones we highlighted on here.
Yeah, and we've looked at quite a few of them.
Start looking at these. Second one.
I was saying that we've looked at actually more than what you have showing of what's here. But,
yeah,
you know, it takes a long time to, again, look this stuff up and then figure out what is there, what is in these spots, and pinpoint the location. And then when you do, you're like,
not only that, because of the nature of this work, it starts to get very political, like this one here. You can see where my mouse is.
Uh-huh.
We either think that's either Riyadh or Mecca. You can see how that's connected into this grid. That's Saudi Arabia right there. So this would be over Riyadh or Mecca. Well, below, not over, sorry. That's below Mecca or Riyadh.
Yeah.
You can see now it gets political, and we're not pointing fingers, we're not saying anything. We're saying this is what's down below there. These people might not even be aware of some of this. I would imagine a lot of them aren't. This kind of information is going to be kept close to home to those that know all about it, I would imagine. You know, there's going to be a very limited amount really know what the hell we're looking at here. And this is what we're trying to hide. You know, the globe can hide this. The globe was invented to hide the 12 gate. And here, that's what the globe is, basically that bit there, and that's what's hiding everything else. How do you hide it all? You create a globe. It hides everything else beyond it then. Open it back up to a proper map, and it reveals it all. Now this grid, this is from the Nazca lines. Sacred geometry from the Nazca lines. Now when you listen to the Book of Enoch, or even the Bible, or any scripture that's describing the angels in the north, south, east, and west, you've got them, the three gates. All of them very graphically detail these 3 gates in the north, south, east, west, and smaller gates inside them. There they are on this grid. You know, how can scripture and the Nazca, scripture and Enoch be detailing a grid from the Nazca lines? You know, if you want correlation, there's some correlation right there. So again, you know, this grid comes into play, as does the 8x8 in the centre. This is what all religions are trying to describe. I say religions, but before religions, all these geoglyphs, petroglyphs, hieroglyphs, geometries, everything, everyone knew how it worked. Everyone depicted this. It doesn't matter what culture they came from. The kings, queens, chiefs, tribal leaders, whatever, everyone told their people all about this and the underworld. That's what you're going to find. If you start looking into stuff we look at, everyone's depicting the same thing. There's different variations of it, but it's all the same thing, and different names for what we're looking at on the grid. Now the angels, to us, they're all particle accelerators. And these are the projectors that project luminaries or halos into the heavens that we're seeing, and, you know, mainstream call them sundogs. Every one of these dots here is going to project what people are calling sundogs. Whether you can see them or not, you know, some are visible, some aren't. If you look at our Decoding Scriptures 2 video, we'll go into detail with the seraphims. They're the six-winged angel in the underworld. And on the depiction, it has the two eyes covered. You know, two of the wings cover two eyes, and two of the wings cover 2 feet. So I decode that as to be it's not projecting a luminary and it's not moving, so it's a stationary halo. And that's Crow 777 and other people have recorded and termed the lunar wave. We think that's there is a stationary halo being highlighted by the moon passing by in the background. It's as simple as that. You know, these projections are starting to be revealed by our luminaries just moving around. That's why we want people to record them. When you see these sun dogs or moon dogs or whatever you want to call them, record them. Very special. And they're all relating to the workings of this realm, how the grid works.
Yeah.
Now, you might not agree with that, but this is the only way we can really see it working.
Yeah. And the hidden path of the moon is being revealed more and more. Right? In its new moon phase.
I'll leave that playing so you got some visuals. Still screen sharing. Can you see that, yeah?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good to, you know, get to this and talk about it again. Refresher for us, and might be new information for some of you guys in the chat. Again, here the Nazca lines, you know, these part of the Nazca lines here, this is the Americas going down towards Antarctica on the real world map. That part there would be South America. Going into Central and North America, and then Alaska, Canada, Alaska. This is above Alaska, this area here on the world map. That's how I can decode these now. And as you see here, these overlays, this is me cutting them out and overlaying them on this map to show you what's below the map in these locations, going by the Nazca line overlays. So you can see that side of the world alone now. You see what I meant about South America, Central and Canada, not Central USA, Canada, up above Alaska. This is where these technologies are in the underworld. The structure, these pathways, these lava tubes, whatever, all this is represented. Various technologies and tunnel networks and antennas and equipment basically. They're building from the mimic map. There's something below Easter Island signalling everywhere. There's nothing on the surface, so you're not coming from the underworld. That's what's there on the Nazca line. The hummingbird, obviously, you know, it's a bird, it's high frequency hum. Signal. It's, you know, it's obviously for transmitting and other purposes. So that's how deep this research was, you know. I was on for time and bother. You get it now, I do. Back in a minute. I'll leave that playing. Back in a minute.
Okay. But yeah, and so everything follows this grid. I mean, like literally volcanoes, earthquakes, real data, the luminaries, sun and moon. There's accelerators in many of the areas that have these angels, this technology. Yeah, that's my best guess for the machine. I mean, you know, they seem to have somehow conversed, and somehow these stories have been written. I mean, is it AI? I don't know. You know, I really can't say, but it has to be some kind of um, programming, intelligence, you know, behind it.
I'm back on.
And how was the communication? Was it really words, or was it frequencies? Was it vibrations? You know, what? How did they communicate? Don't most scriptures say that it was, you know, a language that you had to know how to hear or how to understand?
For me,
Anybody? Anyone? Anyone?
I thought you just got back. Phone call.
I was just talking about what Jason asked. The best guess for the machine, automated or
Automated or
AI?
AI.
You know, definitely automated.
AI, no idea. You know,
Right.
AI suggests it can learn and learn. I don't know if that's what's going on or not. That would be guesswork, wouldn't it?
Hmm.
You know, it doesn't have to be AI really. It can just be mechanical, robotic figures doing what they were designed to do. Without going there, you know, we would be guessing. We've said that before, haven't we? AI. Definitely an automated process. It's got a big cycle that it follows, clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
You can play some things in OBS one and we can still chat over them if you want. Just, you know, you can play them and just mute them. Just so you've got background stuff going on if you want. All you have to do is go to one of your clips you want to play, you just mute it. So at least
how
you've
do
got
you mute
visuals
it?
going on in the background there.
Okay, we'll see if it works. Well, if I turn off my desktop, how do I mute it?
Yeah, in OBS. OBS will stream the audio off it, see, so you would have to mute it in OBS and they would still hear us from the panel. Hopefully.
So,
I don't see
today I was going to talk about the Bering Strait because it's such a mystery with our map how it exists. So the way I see it is it's definitely like the Polynesian Islands.
It's fine there, you know, it's just playing
they're hiding
clips in the
some
background for people to look at now.
information and skewing it on this
I
globe.
don't.
Mm-hmm. They hear it. I still hear it. I got it to not be on them.
Oh.
So I was saying my dogs have to go potty, so
Oh no,
I'm gonna shut
Mel
it
says
down.
no sound on the video, but they can hear us all.
Oh.
Have you stopped streaming?